Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and I hope everyone's going to have an awesome day today. Yes, I do. Right, we're up with Eiffel store, and it's the 3 bunnies with a ladder. You saw me cutting this out partially yesterday just to show you how to keep your rabbit bits together so you never lose them. So I've already made that one, but we're also going to be doing the mushrooms. This is the one that we're going to make. Now, on the website, these are all done in green, which, you know, fires the imagination for St. Patrick's Day and all of you wonderful little gnomes, leprechauns, pots of gold, your rainbows, all kinds of stuff like that. Absolutely fabulous. You can do them in traditional red and white, so they're like Valentine, Christmas, springtime, whenever it is you get your traditional red and white mushrooms. And of course you can put fairies and stuff with them, but today I want to do them pastel, just because I want to see what they're going to turn out like. So I'm going to show you the card that I made, and then we're going to do those mushrooms. Right, so I did use Panelisa's Easter pack for my background, which is this one, and it's called Take Carrot of You, which is quite sweet. So I just thought it would be a nice background to set off those little bunnies. So that is what that die looks like. Now I have changed the colour of the egg. I think on the website the egg is pink and green, and I just went for blue and white. But I love this one that's just peeking out. He's got 1.5mm flat backs for the eyes, which are these. I'm always sharing these. It looks like a little tin of caviar, but I've had those for years now. They're just great for little critters. You've got their different little expressions. There he is. Just, that's me in the garden actually, just balancing on a ladder, usually a garden chair. Whatever you do, don't tell my husband. And then you've got the other one that's sort of sweetly standing atop the egg. I just think that is so cute. Now I've got to do a full measurement because even though I switched out my colours, my layout is identical to the website. So when you're finished, you're going to be at 4 3/4 inches high, and then the width, I've put the ladder and everything as per the website. I think the ear sticks out the most, so I'm just going to travel up with my ruler, and I'm going to say 4.5. Isn't that great? So let's do the finished card size. Yeah, that's helpful, isn't it? So we are 5 3/4 square. I just think that is super, super cute. Really do. Right, so now that we've seen that, I'm going to move that one out of the way because I was on my shelves yesterday and I was sorting out happy colours. So we've got shaded lilac, we've got kitsch flamingo, and we've got squeezed lemonade there. So I've also got tumbled glass and bundled sage. They're just colours that I just grabbed because I was thinking, you know, Easter coming up and I wanted some bright ones. So I'm moving those out of the way. So these are going to be the colour of my mushrooms. Just pop that there. I've got a blending tool somewhere. Yeah, I had to go and get myself a new foam because I want to use antique linen for the stalks and maybe a little bit of tea dye for those funny little ruffle bits that you get underneath your mushrooms. And I've done some die cutting, so I've got my scruffy mat here. So here we go. I will hold these up closer to you because they've got great details of embossing. Now I've laid them out as per website. You can, you know, switch out however you want, but I'm hoping that my camera's picking that up. You get the embossed underside of the mushroom. Now what I've done with mine is I used a piece of double-sided adhesive to hold my little dots in, because I want to be able to do mine with white paint pen. Now if you look here, you can see you've got the emboss on the mushroom, and that makes it super easy to just follow that and glue your piece on. Yeah, nice bright sunshine. So what I want to do first, because it's in the majority, is I want to use my antique linen. So it's my caps really that are going to be, you know, the pastels. So I've got my antique linen and I've got my lovely new foam. I get all my foams and everything from AliExpress. And I can link them below for anyone that's interested. So I am using lovely antique linen oxide just to colour the base of the mushroom pieces. Those little frilly caps. I don't know what them bits are called. If somebody knows, you can tell me. And what I'll do is I'll finish doing them and I'll be right back. Right, so I've done those bits, and before I run away and clean my mat up, I want to put tea dye on these little ruffly bits. So it's just going to be a slightly darker shade. Well, slightly, probably a lot. And I'm just speckling that down actually. So I'm just pouncing it because my mat is saturated in oxide ink. So now those will be just a little bit darker than the mushroom stems. Right, I'm going to tidy up my mess and I'll be right back. Right, so all of my mess is tidied up, and now I think I'm going to do this one in shaded lilac. So I'm just going through my colours here until I find it. So I've got my shaded lilac, I've got my shaded lilac foam, and I'm just going to pick this up. And as I said at the beginning, I've held my dots in with tape because I intend to use my white paint pen. So it's just going to be interesting just to see how these look. So that's my lilac. Peel my pad off here. I think I'm going to do the top one in lemon. Yeah, squeezed lemonade for this one. And I did get some kitchen paper, but hopefully there is enough moisture on here to get any uck off, because I don't want to make my mushroom green. So I'll err on caution and do it over on that side. So a little bit of squeezed lemonade. Try not to use my shaded lilac finger. So that's that one. And then last but not least is pink flamingo, and I've got the doodah there. And I just use one of these cheap spray bottles from Walmart, and I usually put a little puddle of water on my mat, use my kitchen paper and just wipe my mess up. There. So on with this one, and this one is pink, and once again you see I've got the tape holding in my little dots. I do like kitsch flamingo. There's so many other great colours that will go with it. It's one of those colours that you can really play around and quite literally get some very retro looking colour themes with it. Right, I'm just going to let that dry for a second and I will be right back. Right, so I've had a little tidy up, and I also dropped the camera, so hopefully you can see a lot better. And all I need to do now is glue these together, so you can still see, even though I've coloured, you can see that there's an emboss line there. So that is what we are going to glue to. I really like the idea of something like this for an art journal, and I am going to use my white paint pens. I might even use my black pen actually. So there is the cap onto that one. And then let's have a look at this one. This one, the cap goes over the top. Now, it's entirely up to you how far down you decide to take this. But, you know, my personal feeling is that one goes like that. So I'm just going to pop some glue right on the edge. Don't worry about taking your double-sided adhesive off, because, as I said, that's still holding on to those dots. So let's get this down and then pick it up and fiddle with it so that you've got the shape that you want. Let's have a look. There. I'm going to go like that. So that's my little yellow cap. And then there's the pink one. And the pink one, once again, has got that embossed line. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there, because I don't kind of want it to go everywhere. And then you can see the shape is cut to that line. So I'm just going to slide that up until I've got it and give it a press. Now, one of the things I would suggest, if you're going to use your white paint pen, would be to do it now before you've got, you know, loads of bits and bobs getting in the way. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to give my white paint pen a shake. I use this one. It is linked below, and I hope anyone that's got one is enjoying using it, because I just absolutely love them. I can't remember actually if they come in a box of 4 or 6, but they're just so useful. So all you have to do, when you haven't used it for a while, sometimes it can get, you know, a little bit of paint build up. Just use a piece of damp paper towel and just wipe your nib, give it a shake, push it down on the mat, which is something I'm going to do now, and you should get a flow of paint again. See, we've got our paint, and I've put a few dots down so that you can see. Right, so I want these bits here to be white, and I'm trying to do it so that you can see and I can see. And all I'm doing is following that shape. Now, we are using oxides, and you can occasionally find that they will bleed into paint pens, so that they're not as noticeable as you first thought. But you can absolutely go in with a second coat. But I also want to use my black marker, so I'm actually going to press down on this. It might be I've used this one so much now that I'm almost at the end of it. So what I'm trying to do is put white into that area, but not totally fill the outline, because I want to be able to go in with my black marker to do that. There we go, I've got a better flow of paint now. So I've got my white dots there where I want them. And sometimes if you overwork it, it can end up looking a little bit scratchy. And if you want it more smooth, just very gently, just go back over the top. Right, I'm going to do white dots on all these, and I will be right back. Right, so I've done my white dots, and the next thing I want to do is go around my white dots using a liner. I'm using a 05, it doesn't matter what brand it is, just not one that's too thick. And if you look here at the little dots, I'm going to try and get as close as I can. There's an outline, and that's what I want to track. So I'm just going to put my pen down, and I'm just going to do it slowly. So all we're doing is following the line of the die. And by not doing it quickly, you know, you're less likely to make a mistake. So I've now got some black around my dots. Now that goes with that set there, so I'm keeping those together. And we're going to do the same on the yellow, and just really slowly just find your edge. And go around. So we're giving it kind of a whimsical element. But you could absolutely cut these, you know, the underside of the mushroom. Whoever knows what the underside of the mushroom is called, do let me know. But you could cut that in newspaper print, couldn't you? There's all kinds of stuff, no matter what your taste or style, for using mushrooms. Right, so I've got that there. And I don't know yet if I'm going to be using any more. And I think I might do these little fluffy bits with it. I think I might just use my marker, excuse my throat, and just go in at the bottom. I don't want to be perfect. I'm just wiggling. I just went off the edge there, but that's okay. I'm going to do that one as well. So you're quite literally making it your own. And I am coming back to do a project with these tomorrow, because I've got this thing in my head. Yeah. Right, now the next thing, putting all my bits together up there, is to glue your pieces on. So we're going to do that, and that's my short little stumpy mushroom. And all you do is glue that base section right into the center, which is where you see those little lines spiraling out. So I'm going to get that into there. I'm just going to pop that down, and then its little cap will sit onto the top. Now I've got a pickup tool here, so I'm going to go there. And you can, of course, configure your mushrooms however you would like. Right, I'm going to do exactly the same on these two, and I'll be right back. Right, so I moved some bits out of the way, and those are the 3 mushrooms that I'm going to be using tomorrow. But I've got a little bit of walnut stain here, and I'm just going to just touch the bottoms of my mushrooms, just to cast a little bit of shadow. And I mean, if you go along to the website and have a look at how these mushrooms look, you'll see that what we've done here is just totally different. We've kind of made them our own, if you know what I mean. A little bit of shadow down here. And I think that they go in a cluster like this on the website. And I'm going down here again. So there we've got 3 seriously wacky mushrooms. Now, I'm looking at this, and I'm somebody, you know, I get the ink out and then I just can't stop. So I'm thinking about shadow. So I'm off here now. And the same thing again here. Don't be afraid to, you know, use your inks. I'm kind of going more into that bit there. Right. That is what I have for you today, and also did this seriously cute rabbit card, and will be up tomorrow to finish using those. I thank you so much for joining me. As usual, all links are below, and have an absolutely awesome day. Bye.